Hello lovelies, and welcome to today's really special Pesach, Passover video and tutorial. So if you saw my last video, I promised to do a little combination look of a Tichel and makeup Passover inspired look today, because we didn't have a chance to do anything for Wednesday because it was the first night of Passover this year. So I'm really excited to bring you a very Egyptian inspired look in order to celebrate Passover. But of course we're going to remember that it's not just that it was set in Egypt. The story of Passover is one of a lot of miracle, a lot of hope, a lot of belief, and so we won't be ignoring that as well. So we're definitely remembering the beautiful story of Passover and really reflecting the sand and the sea and all the divine moments in the story. So first of all, I want to show you how I did my face. At the moment, I've got a lot of foundation on and a lot of contour, and that's purely because I needed to look a little bit darker than I am naturally, and that's all there is to it. I would assume that for an Egyptian look you would need absolutely zero makeup, because it's a very difficult climate, and I assume very much that they wouldn't wear too much on their actual skin, but I would think that they would wear things like colours, so maybe a little bit of rouge and things like that, because that would be available to them. We definitely know that they mixed up things for their eyes, so we'll definitely be reflecting that, but yeah, this is purely to be a little bit darker than I am. So I'll insert a clip of me just blending in the contour color into the foundation, both of which are way too dark for me, and I look a little bit ridiculous, but it's all for the look. You will see me very much narrowing in the nose, much more so than I would do naturally, and leaving the tip bare. So we're intentionally elongating the nose, elongating the cheeks, and elongating the chin, but bringing in the forehead, because that's just the styling that they had back then. I will do a little bit of powder as well to finish the face, but a little bit later on. For the tichels that you would see the slaves wear, it was literally just a piece of fabric, often connected to a linen. This is a linen fabric here, often connected to the robe, so it was just a bit of a hood, and sometimes you would find it tied down with something, so maybe just some sort of a strap, whether it was a strap of leather like a little belt, or like a little bit of material just to hold it in place, sort of like that. But we're not interested in that. We want to do a really beautiful Egyptian hierarchy, perhaps royalty kind of look. I will still though use my beautiful cream silk and my beautiful linen with some metallic accents through it for the look today. So to achieve today's look, if you don't have much volume in your hair, and I most certainly do not, I would definitely recommend putting in either a nice volumizing turban underneath, hair's really high up. You can use a volumizing scrunchie, or you can use a shaper if you have one. The shaper I have is a little bit too loose for this look, so I've gone ahead and done this kind of really loose turban. Very simple. Just, I'll show you guys how I did this. Basically have it on like this, cross, and wrap in. So ideally I would love to use a triangle for this look, but we don't have one, so we're just going to make this work. So I'm only going to fold over just a little bit of this beautiful silk. I'm going to place it on the absolute bottom of my neck, on the nape there, and we are going to bring it up here, just making sure that I'm covering my shaper turban. I'm going to bring this loose bit over, so it's quite important that your scarf isn't too large or too narrow, otherwise you'll have just a little bit more folding to do at the beginning. Okay, so just get it there. You kind of want as much volume and height as you can get. I'm just going to make sure that these are all nicely sitting straight away. There we go, and bring one around. Just find a little gap for it to go away. I'm just going to coil this one a little bit through here and hide it into this gap. Yeah. Just going to turn these loose bits of fabric in as well. A really beautiful crown that achieves. So that's the first step. And I'm going to finish off with my beautiful metallic and linen sash here. I'm going to fold it in half and about sort of not a full half, just to accent that beautiful bit of metallic thread. I'm just going to place it right behind this crown I have here. I'm not even too worried whether it's even or not. I am going to worry about this being even though at the back. I'm just going to keep on overlapping until I run out of fabric, and then I'm just going to tuck away. Okay, so that is my queen look number one. Okay, let's jump into some makeup now, and then we might do another Tichel look at the end. But I'm really loving this beautiful tall look, and it's just so regal. All right, we definitely need to focus very much on the eyes because that's probably the main part of the Egyptian makeup look. So I've gone ahead and put a little bit of foundation on my eyelids as well. I'm just going to add a little more. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to do the eyebrow. Take a nice little angled brush, a little bit of eyebrow powder. I'm just going to do a nice thick brow. I'm just going to elongate the brow out a little bit because that would have been it's typically how you find them depicted. Okay, the ridiculous brows are on. And we're going to move on to the lid. Now I think what we need to do is do a beautiful transition color, something really bright to really give us a backdrop. Remember, we're trying to reflect the sand in the sky and the sea and all that sort of thing in this look today. I might go for this color. It's just a beautiful, definitely leans towards the purple a little bit, but it'll do it very nicely for a transition color. So I don't want too much on the brush. So I thought I'd be going for a bit more of a terracotta color, but this is a beautiful option as well. Still very neutral and stony and very natural color, but just leans a bit more towards the purple pink spectrum rather than the orangey browns, but definitely works beautifully. So all we really want in this color is a backdrop for the darker color that we're about to apply. And you really want something domed and defined. So my favorite, as you guys probably know by now if you've watched before, is my eye crease brush. It's perfectly round, perfectly dense, and it just fits into any little nook and cranny of an eye that you want it to quite nicely. I'm going to go for this beautiful kind of metallic aubergine, and it's got a bit of a duochrome kind of quality to it as well, and it's just going to go really nicely packed into the crease but slightly blended up into this transition color, not too much, because we want that heavy crease starting to form. See what I mean? It's pretty well transitioned, but I didn't blend too much at all, as you saw, and it gives us that beautiful deep crease ready for that really beautiful Egyptian eye. I'm going to take a beautiful flat brush next, something nice and wide and dense like this, just freshly cleaned too, very nice. I'm going to go for a beautiful yellow gold, something you would typically find on their jewelry or in their in the artwork, you know, in the beautiful drawings we see from the Egyptian history type thing. So it's a lovely bright yellow and definitely metallic and definitely shiny. So that's going to go all over the lid but not on the edge. Okay, so it's two beautiful golden yellow eyes with gorgeous deep creases, all ready to fire. So lovely already. Definitely getting Egyptian vibes, even though we're nowhere near the very typical part of the Egyptian look. I'm going to go back with my crease brush, and this time going for a slightly deeper color. Just very little bit, tiny bit of product on the brush. And I'm just going to finish that outer corner by really deepening that very last end of the crease. All that's really doing is setting me up for the wing that I'm about to do, and I think that deeper color just gives us a bit more dimension once that big liner goes on. So regularly I might drag that outer crease color or outer corner color down through the lower lashes. I haven't done that at all today. I think it's time that we did a bit of liner. I'm going to use my Glide Liquid eyeliner just because it's going to definitely give me the kind of definition that I need for this look. If you have a dip liner, that might work as well. So I'm going to start with the very most inner corner, and I'm going to create a really long kind of elongation towards the nose. Okay, just like that. Very, very light feathery strokes as always. Thin line to continue. Just hugging the lashes there. And then on the outside, we're going to continue that same straight line. Make sure it's not a cat like we normally would do, like a kind of Amy Winehouse flick. We're going to do a straight line across. At least I hope we will. Okay, so that's our first line there. I had to pull all the mirrors in to see what I was doing, but you get a very, very long kind of angular but flat line as opposed to the normal. Okay, so now we need to fill that line out. Right, now we're going to repeat that on the other eye. Okay, I have to say the wonderful thing about this style of Tichel is that it's really, really long. And you definitely see a lot of these elongated heads, especially a few generations later than the pharaoh that dealt with Exodus and Moses and all that sort of thing, with Nefertiti and Tutankhamun. You definitely see these longer kind of style headdresses and heads. So we're going to move on to the lower lash now. We definitely need to leave a gap between the upper flick and the lower flick. I'm going to do my left eye this time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw in exactly the same horizontal line. So we're going to really pay attention to this top line here and copy it, going right across to match the lower lashes. So light flicks to start with, and then you can go over it once you're confident. Just like that. So I've chosen to stop just shy off the edge of my iris, really, really creating that beautiful elongation. Do the same thing on the other eye. I've got this beautiful brush now, nice and thin and very, very kind of pointy, not too small though. I definitely get a little bit of surface area with it. I'm just going to dip it very, very slightly into some misting spray. Just wipe off the excess of the back of my hand. A lot going on in the back of my hand at the moment. So I want it to be just slightly wet, not soaking or anything. And I'm going to dip into this beautiful pearlescent teal there that I've got in my Royal Winter palette. I'm going to make sure that I've covered mostly one side of the brush, but a little bit on the other side too, so I can use it a bit more horizontally. I'm just going to mirror that lower line that we've drawn, and definitely representing the River Nile. So just stop short, just the same as the liner. I'm going to pick up the brush again with a little bit more spray, a bit more product, and this time it's a bit more gel-like, a little tiny bit more spray. I'm going to continue that line, but I'm going to make sure that it don't touch the lash line at all. So I'm just going to continue on my lower lid, a little bit further across. Leaving a generous gap between the lashes and where the now liner is. Okay, I feel like even an Egyptian deserves a bit of highlight, so I'm just going to go in with a dry brush and color Grace and just filling that little gap with my light color. Okay, not too much. We don't want a full-on 2019 highlight. We just want to really exaggerate the gap with some lightning. You can definitely do the same thing with this gap here if you needed to. If it wasn't obvious enough, you can definitely put a bit of highlight or a bit of light foundation there just to glitter it up. But you definitely want it to be lighter than your skin tone, but not too white. Okay, so these are our Egyptian eyes. I'm going to go back with my kabuki brush that I used for my contour and to blend all my foundation, things like that. I'm going to go into a bit of bronzer And I'm just going to pop it directly above where the contour is, just to deepen and warm up that cheek a bit more. Okay, so I think for the lip today we're going to start with the brown, something as neutral and as kind of chocolatey as possible. So this is called Mink. I'm just going to use it to line the lips to start with. And I'm going to finish up with my little dry skin serum. Okay, just a little bit on the finger. A jojoba or a rosehip or a apricot oil would go beautifully as well, just to really finish off that lip and keep it really, really neutral. How gorgeous is that? Okay, I think for the makeup look, this is really, really wonderful. The only grievance I have is that the bronzer did absolutely nothing on this foundation color. This is normally my bronzer color, and you can barely even see that above the contour there, but we definitely got the Egyptian look covered. So I just want to show you one more turban to finish, because I just feel like I didn't do anything this Wednesday and I kind of missed doing a turban tutorial for this week. So I'm going to do one more to finish off, so we'll get a nice good look at this look here. Guys, once again, by all means, use a shaper if you have one and that you like. I've just chosen to go with the scarf this time. I actually do have a shaper that would be perfect for this, but I've just chosen to do this. So this covers a bit more volume, so it's a bit more wide of a donut on my head. So all I've done is I've put the scarf down, taken the tails and wrapped them in opposite directions around my bun, and then just tuck the little tails away. So there's still definitely hair open on either side, and then the non-slip headband to finish. I'm going to start with my linen scarf, just a very small one, but boy do I love this one. Just the color of it is really special. It's not quite white or ivory or cream, and it's just a little bit uneven. Just get a bit more length that way in your look if you've got a sort of smaller, shorter scarf. I'll tuck this away, and still bring it across the front, but over to one sort of angle. I'm going to start by giving it a bit of a twist, but this time going back through the front. Normally I would continue through the back kind of thing, so the twist would go up that way. I'm not going to do that this time. This time it's going to go through the front. So it's going to be important how this is sitting on the forehead kind of area. So make sure you're very strict with your little tail there, so it's nice and tucked away. I'm just going to go right under there. I'll just hold it where it finishes for now, but it will get tucked away. And then the second one, let it sort of span out naturally on its own. We're going to go one little layer higher. And let it go till it's done, and then tuck away. You can most definitely leave it there. I'm in love with this one. You still get that beautiful elongation, but it's nice and flat through the top because of the shaper that we used. I'm going to use this next scarf, the silk one, folded in 4. Doesn't have to be perfect, just roughly. You get this lovely wide panel that you can do through the back. But when you get to the front, just find where your knot is and kind of give it a twist. So you get the exact same matching knot, and then you can just keep going. Same thing, bring it through the front, tuck it under, let that one out. So that one's now being held in place. Oh, getting there. Getting held in place. This one's nice and sprawled out, just for a nice pretty finish. And then we can probably tuck that under a little bit. And I'm actually going to hide it under this one here. Very, very happy with that result. Wow, wow, wow. So get a definite elongation, a definite crown, and beautiful height. And again, you still keep that beautiful flattened top because of that gorgeous shaper that we decided to use. And if you have a shaper that's going to naturally achieve that for you, fantastic. I do too, but I just thought this is something that we all have. We all have a bit of fabric that we can just do a bit of a bauble with and achieve this kind of look. So totally chuffed with the way this turned out. It's so pretty. Got a bit of things hanging out that you can definitely take your time to really tuck away and things like that. Very, very happy with the overall look. Having a bit of a look at that one. Lovelies, thank you so much for coming along on this journey with me. It is a bit of a crazy one, and I hope that your isolation journeys are going very well, and you're doing so well with the situation that the world is in at the moment. Let's hope this too shall pass over us very soon, and we'll be back to our lives, if not a better one, once this is all over and done with. I hope you guys enjoyed the look today. I certainly had a really great time creating it for you, and even though this is a bit of a longer video, it's kind of a 2-in-1, but I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it and a bit of a reprieve from whatever's going on around the world at the moment. If you haven't subscribed already, please do hit that beautiful subscribe button down there and come along. I'd love to see the numbers grow. I love making these videos, and it'd be just more fun to have a bigger audience to do them for. If you did enjoy the video, please do like and leave me a comment, say hello. I love hearing from you guys, either down below, right at the bottom in the comment section, or over on Instagram, where there's heaps more stuff going up, or on the adjacent Facebook page. Wherever you are around the world, I hope you're having an amazing day. I hope you're staying safe and healthy, and I'll see you on the next one.